now for the moment everyone's been waiting for. LeBron James.
Still S tier.
Still S tier, huh?
Still S tier.
For sure? Confidently?
Doesn't feel like Alex is that sure.
It'd be pretty hot to put him in A tier, but like it's not entirely disagreeable. Like
so many people got mad at me for saying he's not top 5 in that hot takes video. Like I got a way higher threshold of comments saying that my takes this episode was bad, and that was the one that was highlighted all the time.
So we feeling A or we feeling S? I know you just confidently said S, but Alex, your smirk and recline is really convincing me that A might be the way to go, especially for trying to spread this list. You know, it wouldn't be bad for engagement to have a tier list with
smile off of your face.
I'm not barking up this tree today.
Bark.
He's S tier.
All right, S tier it is.
I'll say we can do this another day.
Just a whole podcast episode. Is LeBron James overrated? Just
in all seriousness, LeBron is still S tier. My question was less about is LeBron still S tier and more how long do we think that continues for? Like next year, because I think we saw in the playoffs last year, like LeBron can still put up the numbers, but like AD is kind of turning into the guy that they're looking at as like the number one. Dude, like he's the guy that's starting to be the go-to.
This dude Mo is on your fucking ass. Alex.
I know he's called me a casual like every one of these episodes, which fair enough, I guess. Whatever. But no, LeBron is still S tier. I'm just curious, how much longer do we think that continues for? Because there are like in the past, everyone was like, "Oh, LeBron's like 33. This isn't going to go on much longer."
What's that one tweet?
If you make any more comments like that, dog, we're definitely
don't say some shit like that.
That's not cool.
I'll put him in timeout.
That's crazy.
Anyways, we used to be able to be like with LeBron, everyone would be like, this isn't going to go on much longer, and then psych, he's like top 3 in MVP voting. But now it's like, okay, we are seeing signs that age is here. Yeah. So I was just wondering where your all's thoughts were. This past playoff series was the first time where I was really like, oh wow, like LeBron is definitely getting older.
Yeah, and he was dealing with an injury for the playoffs that otherwise I might have like viewed that as enough to knock him down, but he was playing through an injury, so I'm not gonna do that quite yet. I mean, he's still putting up like 37-7 on good efficiency, and like he's not like, weirdly enough, as he's getting older, he started to play defense more. Like he kind of decided to stop doing that in 2018, and then like started doing it more again in 2020, and then kind of fell off a bit more, and it's kind of fallen back into it. LeBron just kind of decides season by season whether or not he's going to play defense. So yeah, his shot was
there's
off
no argument that he is not S tier. Like he is solidly still S tier.
For sure. It would just be good engagement bait. But, you know, we're not that type of podcast.
I was like, do I do it for the pod? Nah. I'll never sacrifice my integrity.
Especially not for this podcast.
Yo.
Oh, we got like some Australian dollars or something. I don't know what a dollar sign means.
What is
we
that?
We got a donation. I got to agree with it.
Yeah, LeBron F tier. He averaged 31.
What if that was like $800 in American currency?
Man, Forex would be going crazy right now. But thank you, Noah, for the joking little chat here. I do appreciate your donation. Marcus Morris? I think this is Marcus. One of the Marcuses made the power forward tier list, and the other one is technically a center. So which one of these controversial twins is getting ranked where?
One of them is much better than the other. But he's annoying. Both of them are annoying. Both as players and as dudes. Very questionable pod clip came out from them the other day. Not going to get into that though. Yeah. I don't know, probably B minus.
B minus
really?
Or C.
On his best days.
See, the problem is I can't remember which one is which.
No, this is Clippers. This is Clippers.
Okay.
Marcus Morris, who, you know, is a capable enough creator. He does it more than he should, but he does. Decent, pretty damn good 3-point shooter. And as Osiris says here, most Clippers fans do hate him, but you know that could very much be around, you know, a matter of a fan base over hating on a player. But also, I feel like every fan base Marcus has ever been a part of has hated underrated on him. So I'm good with C. I'm good with C.
I was gonna say C. Yeah,
he is
I
a
remember
B- player.
people were clamoring for Robert Covington to get minutes over him, and I completely agreed with that.
Yeah.
He just does too much. I can't stand players that just do too much. It's like literally all you have to do is less to be better. That's the easiest thing.
just relax, bro, and you'll be
doing
good.
less things is such an easy thing to do.
I wonder if I could zoom out. And yep, all right, cool. We're back.
Maxi Kleber. That's an interesting one.
I think Maxi Kleber is pretty good personally, but I don't watch a lot.
Apparently,
I
have his jump shot.
Oh, 100%, 100% you do.
Interesting.
And you even look a little bit like him. Not a lot, but enough that also having his jump shot really lines up. But
C tier, B minus.
3-ball inconsistent. Pretty damn good defender. Doesn't do a whole lot on offense outside of space the floor, and he doesn't space the floor all that well. I don't know.
I'd say he has enough value to still be B minus, but he's like kind of skating by here. He might be C pretty soon.
It's like he could have one.
There's an argument he could be in C right now, but I'm cool with B minus.
I would have said probably like 3 years ago when he was shooting 40% from three that he was arguably in B, because he was also like, if I remember correctly, like playing pretty fucking good defense on Kawhi in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we living with
playoff
B minus.
B minus is fine.
Playoff Kawhi is not an easy player to bother.
The best Frenchman to ever play in the NBA, Nicolas Batum.
Probably also B minus, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been pretty good with the Clippers. Like
he had one of his most productive seasons since Charlotte.
Yeah, he got paid by the Hornets, immediately fell off, got released, went to the Clippers, and then went back to being one of the best role players in the league as he was with the Portland Trailblazers.
y'all know that one song where he just catches a stray?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff. I remember, I feel like I say this almost every time Nick Batum is brought up on the podcast, but like in the infancy of my NBA fandom, I remember seeing on ESPN or something like that the Blazers were considering Nick Batum untouchable. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I get that he's an interesting young player, but what the hell? He doesn't seem that good.
And
then he got like mega paid by the Hornets. I was like, okay, I guess Nick Batum is really good.
To be fair, we're just looking at like his last 2 years with Portland, like 14, 7, and 5 assists, and an excellent defender, and a 37% three-point shooter in high volume.
At what age and how many minutes?
That was when he was 24 and 25, and it was 37 minutes a game, which is pretty steep. But he was a very, very good role player in Portland, and now he's like the pretty good role player version of himself.
Gotcha. She Obi on my Toppin. Where are we putting this guy?
That wasn't bad. That
one's for Desmond Novak.
That being said, like he's C tier at best.
Yeah,
but more comfortably.
I
think probably too good for D tier.
He's definitely too good for D tier. I could see him being B minus this next year though, because he's not been utilized well in New York. And I think as a pick and roll big, he's gonna fit in obviously very well with Halliburton. I imagine being on the floor with Halliburton instead of the players he was previously on the floor with is gonna result in like 6 more points a game alone.
He definitely needs to be in like a structured offense where like
100%.
Things aren't being drawn up for him, but like he can operate within the realms of it and not just like be handed a live grenade and expected to do something.
Honestly, I think he needs like what Aaron Gordon's role is on offense. Maybe a little bit less self-creation, but then of course he's not bringing the defense to the table that Aaron and Gordon is. But if he could get to just be okay on defense and then just like unstoppable rolling to the rim, he could be pretty fucking good.
This next Pacers guy, another name that escapes me, probably just some bench guy for the Pacers. Where are we putting him? Someone want to tell me his name?
Is that
the cursor is over his face. Is that Oshae Brissett?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it started with an O. I was like, that's not Ochai Agbaji. Who is it? It's just
It's funny because you said you pronounced it right, but it was just the way
with no confidence.
Yeah, you said it right and gave up on yourself halfway through.
It's like when you don't know someone's name, so you're like, you just kind of try to rush through like your best.
What's up,
guess.
man? Yeah, no, good to see you, dude.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about okay.
I don't think he's that great.
Didn't he have a stretch his rookie year where everyone was like, oh?
I think he had a stretch his first year with Indiana, but that was technically his second year. And it was
I'm gonna try and find it.
Thank you, Mo, for your apology and euros. I do appreciate that very much. Apologies go a long way on this podcast.
European, that explains it.
Oh yeah, dude, he had it wasn't the craziest thing in the world, but
yeah.
It was like a 10-game stretch of like 15 points and
I feel like
9 rebounds.
Did he get drafted?
He got drafted by Toronto, I think.
I could have swore Basketball Reference used to say whether or not you got drafted, but I guess not anymore. No, he signed a 10-day contract with them and then eventually a 2-way. So he was undrafted. I think that's why people were like, this guy came out of fucking nowhere.
Good for him. C tier? D tier?
Really
yeah,
bad.
D-tier. Yeah, he's not very good.
Quick, Alex, who was this?
Oh my gosh, the French dude, Ousmane Dieng.
Yeah, there you go. Where are we putting Ousmane?
So if we're going off last season, which has kind of been my philosophy with everything, I mean, he's like D tier. But that being said, he looked the big problem with him is when he would be on the floor, he just never looked confident. He would just always like get the ball and just not really know what to do with it and just looked lost on the defensive end. There was just so much that he wasn't doing well, and then like the flashes were kind of limited. So like last year at best D, but looking at the guys in D, I'd say he's probably closer to F. That being said,
just that being said,
he's so confused. You said that being said, and your mic cut off. I don't know what to tell you, man.
We're on a hot streak after an hour and a half.
The timing of that was so good.
Oh, now he's just a spinning wheel.
Like,
that's okay.
Specifically setting the precedent that he was going to say something and then not being able to say anything.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go.
Loud and clear.
That being said, he will probably be in a much higher tier next year.
Safe to say he's the best player in F tier, or is that more of a Kevin Knox, Chris Boucher thing?
I would say it's probably more of a Chris Boucher thing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, moving on to Paolo Banchero. Where are we putting this man? Probably next to Jeremy Grant, right? Maybe.
Oh,
I feel like this is a controversial one. He's coming off of a Rookie of the Year campaign where he wasn't very efficient, but scored a lot and put up a lot of other numbers on a bad team. But he's real big and real athletic. Zay, the Magic fan of the chat and moderator of the chat,
I think
says S++.
I think he's B.
Think he's more of a Kyle Kuzma than a Jeremy Grant, huh?
But I think being what Kyle Kuzma was last year as a rookie is an extraordinary sign. Like he had a very good rookie season. But he was also Rookie of the Year because the only competition he had wasn't really there for like a large chunk of the season at first. And by the time J-Dub started breaking onto the scene, it was kind of like everyone had already decided Paolo was Rookie of the Year and it wasn't really going to change. But Paolo, like I believe the second half of his year was worse than the first half, if I'm remembering correctly. And his overall like rookie numbers are not jumping out at you, and it's not like he had some outstanding level impact.
It's, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times, especially in the guard tier list, we did a little bit of projecting out where we said, okay, this guy's clearly showing signs that he's going to be better than he was last year, this upcoming year. And so we projected out just a little bit. I think with a guy like Paolo, who's the top pick of the draft, I think we could do that. I think that's totally fair and reasonable.
Yeah, he's like the one player where I'm like, fine, we can project out a little bit, but
dude,
yeah,
I think he's
B+.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's where I think he should be as well. Putting Paolo Banchero and Herb Jones in the same tier just doesn't quite sit right with me.
That's what I was gonna say. If we put him in B, we were gonna have to move guys from B down.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
Speaking of top picks, Patrick.
I'm not saying he didn't have a big impact on the Magic, but it doesn't take much to impact the Magic better than what they would have been. It's a pretty low bar to begin with.
P. Willie, where are we putting Patrick?
B- at best, probably C.
Confidently in C. He's still like fine enough as a like role player. It's just annoying that he doesn't do more.
I appreciate your approval, Zay.
The things that he is supposed to theoretically be good at, he took a step back in last year.
I was very, very fair about Patrick Williams. Don't give me that Bulls fan shit. I still believe Patrick has star potential. I don't think he's had a fair enough circumstance around him to just like knock that off as a possibility. Can't be consistent.
I mean, I'm with you, but
inconsistent
also
situations.
I'm totally cool if I'm getting the vibe that Patrick Williams is going to be one of those situations where I'm like that meme from Joker where it's Joaquin Phoenix putting the clown makeup on in the mirror. It's like me telling myself Patrick Williams is going to have a breakout season. I'm going to be doing that when Patrick Williams is like 35.
Yeah.
Just the anti-Nick Batum. PJ Tucker.